Hi guys, my name is Tom and I'm the Tech Chap, and in this video I'm going to tell you why I think you should definitely upgrade to Windows 10. If your PC, laptop or Windows tablet is running Windows 7, 8 or 8.1, then installing Windows 10 is both free and incredibly easy. The upgrade process is done straight from the desktop too, which means there isn't any faffing around with booting from installation disks or anything like that. Microsoft has also made it completely free for the first year to upgrade, and so it's easier than ever to get their latest operating system, or OS. But do you really need to? Well, my answer simply is yes. Microsoft has skipped Windows 9 and gone straight to 10 as a bit of a marketing strategy aimed at signaling a fresh, unified new start for the Windows platform. Microsoft is adopting the approach Apple takes toward their Mac OS in terms of releasing more regular, free updates to the platform, such as Yosemite and El Capitan. Now, Microsoft is calling Windows 10 the last version of Windows, as they plan to use it as the base for all future updates. So upgrading to Windows 10 therefore will ensure your computer will always have the latest software, features and security updates, and it's absolutely free to upgrade. So what's new? Well, Windows 10 has loads of new features. It incorporates Windows 8's annoying full-screen Metro interface into a new feature-packed start menu. It's great to see the return of it. It also adds a new personal assistant called Cortana, which is Microsoft's version of Apple's Siri. It rebrands Internet Explorer, or IE, into the new Edge browser, which is a huge improvement and is almost good enough to bring me back from using Chrome. It also introduces a new task view, which is reminiscent of Apple OS X's Mission Control, which gives you access to lots of different virtual desktops. And also it adds a new tablet mode, which means you can tailor the Windows 10 user interface, or UI, to best suit the device you're using, whether it's a desktop, a laptop, or a sort of touch mobile device. As well as all that, Windows 10 adds DirectX 12 support, which should make future games run faster. It adds new icons and sounds and redesigned menus, and generally a more modern look. If you're coming from Windows 7, you'll find it's a pretty big upgrade. Windows 8 users will notice fairly subtle differences, but the bottom line is it's faster, it's smarter, it's better. Now, a new OS may have all the latest bells and whistles and fancy features, but speed and performance will always be the king. A lesson Microsoft learned the hard way with Windows Vista, unfortunately. Fortunately, the first thing I noticed about Windows 10 was how much faster and smoother everything felt. Coming from Windows 8.1, just opening folders, accessing the new task view, searching from the start menu, navigating settings, simple everyday tasks that we all do, feels noticeably quicker and more responsive. But nowhere is this speed boost felt more than the new Edge browser. Back in 2003, Internet Explorer commanded 95% of the browser usage share. This year, in 2015, it's just 55%. Although IE is now 20 years old, the meteoric rise of Google's Chrome browser demonstrated users simply wanted speed and simplicity. Microsoft's answer is a rebranded, rebuilt Edge browser, which does a great job of shrugging off IE's old reputation of being slow and outdated. Putting the inevitable comparison with Chrome to one side, Edge is a modern, simple and above all fast browser. It adds a few interesting features as well. Markup allows you to write, draw, type text onto a web page, which then can be saved and shared. It's more than just an annotated screenshot though. Opening a saved markup file will return you to the full working page with the markup on. It's potentially a useful feature for power users, people sharing ideas, or collaborating on a project. But for those worried about potential compatibility issues with browsers, you can still launch Internet Explorer from within Edge if you want to. Microsoft's Cortana is also integrated into the Edge browser, with her answers and search results linking into the browser itself. Microsoft have also used the same underlying technology that Cortana uses to make Edge smart, from text predictions to personalized results. So Cortana has finally made it to the desktop following its debut on Windows Phone. You can now ask questions, check the weather, set reminders, and everything else you've probably already been doing with Siri or Google Now on your phones. With a voice-activated Hey Cortana option available, this new virtual assistant is incorporated within Windows' search and offers context-sensitive information and answers based on data from your settings, location, OneDrive account, Edge browser, and even Xbox and your phone, which actually includes Android and iOS devices, although to a slightly lesser extent than Windows phones. Unfortunately, Cortana isn't available in most regions outside the US yet, although you can simply change your region in the device's settings to the United States, and that will fix it. Its voice recognition also does have room for improvement too. Quite often you'll get some response like something went wrong. Regardless of a few inconsistencies though and regional issues, Cortana is a handy new feature, especially on devices without a keyboard. It'll be interesting to see how it develops in the future and integrates further into our digital lives. Windows 8 introduced the Windows Store, which was the only source of apps and programs available for users of Windows 8 RT, the cut-down touch tablet version of the OS. The Windows Store never quite felt right on laptops or desktops though. Maybe it was because the apps took you out of the desktop onto a full screen sort of touch UI, or it didn't quite mesh with normal desktop programs. I'm sure I'm not the only one who didn't really touch Fresh Paint or Cocktail Flow more than a few days after trying Windows 8 for the first time. The good news though is that by integrating the whole previously separate Metro interface into the new Start menu, for the first time I am genuinely downloading and using apps from the Windows Store. They're easy to see and quick to access from the Start menu, and the best part is it doesn't take you away from the desktop at all. It opens in just a normal little box like a normal program would on your desktop browser. It's a little thing, but it makes a big difference for me at least, wanting to actually use Windows Store apps. Thanks to an extended beta and thorough testing, Windows 10 is largely stable and reliable. As with any major new software release, especially one available on such a range of hardware, there will always be a few teething problems, bugs, and driver issues. Aside from a couple of issues where my Photos app kept crashing, I couldn't connect to my Wi-Fi, and also my Nvidia driver crashed. It sounds a little bit more serious than it was. It's not been too bad at all. I would say that the phrase "your experience may vary" is very much true here, but on the whole, it's very good, and although it's only been out a few days fully, if you do want to wait a week or two or a month, then that's probably not a bad idea if you can avoid not being on the cutting edge of Microsoft operating systems for a little bit longer. One thing to bear in mind though is that although most people will simply upgrade to Windows 10, you do of course have the option to do a fresh install as well. A word of warning though, because I upgraded from Windows 8.1, which itself was an upgrade license for Windows 7. Windows 10 is free for the first year for people who upgrade, but you can still buy a new license for around £100. But it's this upgrade process that converts your old Windows 7 or 8 serial key into a legitimate new Windows 10 key. So you should definitely find out and make a note of what your new updated serial key is once Windows 10 is installed. Unfortunately, foolishly, I didn't, and after upgrading, I decided to do a fresh install without making a note of this new updated key. So an evening of formatting hard drives and reinstalling Windows 7 and then going up to Windows 10 again ensued for me. The vast majority of people won't come across this, but all I would say is just make note of that new updated serial key once you've upgraded to Windows 10, because your old one that's on the box or on the card for Windows 7 or 8 isn't compatible as a fresh install serial key for Windows 10. In conclusion, I think the biggest challenge Microsoft faces with Windows 10 is whether it does enough to convince steadfast companies and consumers, many of whom are still using Windows 7 or even XP, to look past the issues of Windows 8 and jump onto this new unified platform. In my opinion, Windows 10 improves on its predecessor 8.1 in every way. It's smarter, it's faster, it's completely free, and most importantly, because it is their new base platform, it's future-proof. Microsoft really needed to get this right, and I think they have. Should you upgrade? Absolutely, although if you are worried about bugs or driver issues, just give it a couple of more weeks or a month and then upgrade. So I hope you found this review helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, of course, as I'll have a Windows 10 full feature guide coming on my channel very soon. Thank you very much for watching. Please do subscribe, and I'm sure I'll see you again. Cheers, guys.